Mic check 1 2 1 2. Welcome to the For Your Thoughts podcast, where psychology, pop culture, and self meet. We're back with another episode, and today we're going to be diving into all things CultureCon, all things knowing how to show up in spaces that might feel or seem overwhelming, and just getting to know yourself better so that you can step into any space, any networking space, any conference, any family gathering, and feel comfortable. I feel like we have so much social anxiety these days, and we have this vision and an expectation of what our social outings should be, and when they don't live up to them, we start critiquing and talking mad shit online. And I just really want to dive in more into how we can just show up better and what that really means. Like, why and where all this negative critique around Essence Fest, Afrotech, CultureCon, where it's all coming from. So stay tuned for that. But before we get into all that, of course, I got to catch up with my girls that are usually here, my girls and my guys, because we are multi-genital up in here, but not for real. So the latest on my plate has really been going to CultureCon, and then I was also on the Rory and Mal Patreon live stream. If you guys know the Rory and Mal podcast, they were a part of the Joe Budden podcast. They broke off, created their own podcast, and brought on Damaris. Damaris is one of my really, really good bestie boo friends, and she is a host on that show. And they did like a Patreon live stream that was so much fun. Like, we got lit. Like, if you saw me on that stream, you didn't see me on that stream. But also, it was like a really good opportunity for me to see what a big production like that looks like, and also just like recognize like, yo, like, I'm around people who are doing exactly what I want to do, what I am doing, and it was just like one of those like really beautiful aha moments. Shout out to Rory and Mal and all of the listeners who, I guess my name was T-shirt Bae or Tank Top Bae on the live stream. So thank you guys for, y'all was calling me fine shit and all the different things. That was actually so funny, and my first time being on any type of live stream like that, and I was able to like talk to you guys, etc., and that was just fun, and it felt so natural. And I just want to keep on being in spaces that make sense for me. So shout out to Damaris, first of all, my baby Buki, but I love you so much, and Rory and Mal, and all of the new Rory and Mal fans. And lastly, shout out to Eden. Thank you, Eden is his DJ name. He was DJing. We were having a good time and just serving. It was just fun. It was just like, I literally pulled up in a tank top and tights and had the time of my life. So that was great. But now let's get into this episode. Let's get into it. On this episode, I want to really tap into how to walk into a room like you belong there, how to make yourself feel like you belong in any room, and how to find the beauty anywhere that you go, because you literally are the beauty anywhere that you go. And this is a bigger conversation. Yes, CultureCon sparked this conversation. Essence Fest sparked this conversation. And all of these different festivals and conferences that people go to when it comes to wanting to up their creative game, up their social status, and be seen ultimately. So every year, there's a wave of discourse when it comes to CultureCon. People say maybe that it's too overwhelming, maybe that there wasn't enough room for them to network, there wasn't enough space to really connect with people, the lines were too long, the speakers were too simple, and one of the most common ones, it was that it feels like a fashion show. And from me to you, I didn't go day one because I didn't have a fit. Like, sometimes you just know you got to get your fit off. And if you don't have your fit, that's just what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? And although it should not be a fashion show, you should not let anyone else dressing up or anyone else doing their thing affect how you are. No one's going to be looking at you up and down like, what do you have on? And if they do, that's no one that you want to be in community with. That's no one that you even want in your network. And if that's not you to pull up with your fit on, with that shit on, that's totally fine. You can literally come in like cute business attire, etc. And one of the main critiques is that it's really all about influencers and seeing your influencer, etc. And I do feel like CultureCon is literally your For You page in real life, and it also feels like a creative homecoming of the sorts. I did not go to an HBCU, so I don't know like the feeling of that homecoming feeling, and it definitely does give me that. I'm able to see people that I have not seen in years, and we're just like, girl, you cute, like dancing, drinking, learning, and it's really honestly such a great idea and a good time if you choose to see it that way. But the more I listened to the discourse that was happening on my TikTok feed, on my Threads feed, on my Twitter feed, on all the feeds, the more I sat down and I was like, it's not about CultureCon. It's not about any of these conferences or festivals. It's truly about us. It's about how we feel about ourselves in that moment. It's about how confident we are in our careers, in our creative journeys, in our paths. How are we walking into these rooms and into these spaces? What are we yearning for? What are we looking for? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that because you left a bad critique, you're not confident within yourself. That's not at all what I'm saying. If you've never been to CultureCon, it's a creative hub. It's exactly how Imani Ellis describes it, a creative hub, a creative playground, a creative homecoming, full of panels, food from people of color, definitely a fashion show. You can get your fit off. You can meet your favorite people in real life. You can meet the people that you're always DMing and tweeting, etc. in real life. And there's workshops. There are career areas as well where you can literally go and take your resume and get looked over, etc. I even saw a really cool like painting area or like this arts and crafts area that really looked like a great space for people who wanted and needed to connect. So that's what CultureCon is for those of you who have never been. But of course, if you ever even just wanted to go to any type of networking event, as we all have, this is still for you because it just goes into the umbrella of walking into spaces and looking for something that you feel like you're not getting. So CultureCon is just purely full of creative, vibrant, Black, fun energy and really a lot of knowledge as well. But this year, the tone afterwards was a little bit different. And I can say that I've seen as many positive comments as I've seen negative comments, but what we all know how the brain works, and the negative comments are screaming so much louder. And the tone there is that it felt very influencer heavy. It felt like people just wanted to get a photo with Morris Chestnut. I'm literally quoting someone exactly what they said. It felt like the lines were long, like there was no real room for networking. And I get it, but I feel like a lot of those feelings come from within. Walk with me. I want to be real because this is something that I have also felt in these types of spaces before. When I wasn't on my shit when it came to what I set out to do in New York City, as far as this podcast, as far as more social impact and like mental health advocacy in the industry, I really felt like going to these spaces, I had like nothing to offer in a sense. I felt like smaller in these rooms because I didn't feel like I was internally walking in my light. And I feel like that's a lot of what's happening here. Granted, constructive criticism for anything is okay. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying make sure that you check yourself before walking into these events to make sure it's just not a projection, and to make sure that you get the best out of what you paid for and what you're spending your time on. When a lot of people were describing this event, they really heavily focused on the fact that they weren't able to connect with anyone, or the fact that everyone was just worried about the influencers or the celebrities or the people that were walking around, and that there just wasn't enough room for networking and connection, when Literally, there is a big space filled with just people swimming in a pool of beautiful black goodness and intelligence and brilliance. Just you look left, you look right. That's literally what you see. And I do want to say that, and this is for the people who just felt kind of invisible in the space. It's really easy to feel invisible in a space where everyone is shining. That is so easy to do when you feel like you aren't where you are. And if we take into consideration what's going on in our industry, people are getting chopped from their jobs left and right. People aren't getting paid what they deserve. We did not know it was going to be like this. Like, I'm a millennial. I had no idea this is what my life was going to be like. I did not think that social media would take over in this way. I did not think AI would take over in this way. So I feel you in the sense that there's so much happening in this world, and you want to go to an event and you're looking for something outside of yourself. You want to find that one connection that might get you that job. You want to hear from that one speaker that might just say something that you just feel like literally came from God himself. You want to meet your favorite person in real life and have a real key with them. And when that doesn't happen, you feel like, okay, what am I doing this for? But there's so much that you can create within yourself and generate, because you are literally what you attract. I say this all the time. So yeah, let's be real. A lot of people were describing the event in a very negative way, in a negative light. And I totally feel them. I totally get it. But I feel like they were low-key describing like how they might feel sometimes on the inside. And it's easy to compare yourself to that person who everyone wants to take pictures with, especially if you're a content creator or a creator yourself, and you just haven't had that big break yet. It's almost like a reminder of where you're not at versus where you are at. And that's not at all what I know that CultureCon was meant to be, and the intention of it. And that's why I'm here to say that a lot of these problems, outside of logistical issues, like a long line, okay, move that over there. Not talking about that. But a lot of these issues aren't really a CultureCon problem. It's a self-perception problem, and really an overall perception problem. We live in this weird time where your IRL capital and your digital capital are basically one and the same, and high key now digital capital is even higher than your in real life capital. And I think it's confusing for millennials, especially, who have had a lot of like in real life motion versus like online motion. Knowing people in person or just being talented simply is not enough. You need to be known online as well. So you might see someone fangirling over your favorite creator. And if you're a content creator yourself, that can either be inspiring or it could be like a hit to your ego, because you aren't exactly where you want to be in your content creation journey. And I think a lot of CultureCon and what it's bringing out of people is just that of a realization of like, oh shit, I'm not there yet. I'm almost there. I'm not there. I'm almost there. But that's really an internal thing that you have to check with yourself as to, why am I letting it make me feel this way, to then spew negativity on someone else's dream, someone else's life. And it's so crazy. We're scrolling so much and we see a 15-second TikTok of this really cool event, and we see it all the time. We're like, oh my God, I have to go. I have to be there because everybody's there, etc. And you think that you're going to have the same exact experience as what you saw online, but one, it's a curated experience by someone who literally showed you the best sides and put some music behind it to turn you up a little bit, and your dopamine was up because it's like a dopamine hit. Two, you're not that person, so you're not going to get that experience. And when real life doesn't hit like the real that you saw, and your expectations don't go that way, you kind of feel like gypped. It's like, damn, I paid my money for this experience and it didn't hit the way that it was supposed to hit. The dopamine didn't hit the way that it was supposed to hit. And we end up blaming the event instead of really like managing our own personal expectations. And honestly, sometimes people just love to complain, and that's just an age old thing. Like, our grannies were complaining, our aunties were complaining about every single thing, but now we all just have a microphone and a camera to complain to and amplify all of our thoughts. So some of y'all projecting, some of y'all great actual critique, some of y'all literally mean ass people and just complaining for no reason, and a lot of y'all are really just trying to get some numbers so you can be on that stage one day too. And all in all, it feels like people are really looking for something at these conferences, events, panels that they can really only find within themselves, which is number one, confidence, number two, validation, and number three, a true sense of belonging. And I'm not just telling all this because I'm trying to shit on y'all or take someone's side or anything like that. I'm telling y'all this because this is how I felt about myself before. I didn't go to CultureCon for years. Actually, my first time going was last year, and simply because I felt like I had nothing to offer, like I was not ready. I heard from a lot of people that it could be very cliquey, that it could be very much so a who you know type of thing. And although I do know a lot of people, I feel like in my creative journey in New York, a lot of what I had going on was in real life, and CultureCon felt very digital based and digital heavy. And my ego wasn't prepared to walk into a space with a bunch of people who were the who and the who and were the this and the that on a whole different level. And I didn't go for years simply because of that. And I missed out on, I feel like, maybe some of the best years of the event simply because I was not healed enough and my ego just wasn't ready to be like a beginner or be new to a space or have to like put in the effort and the work to really get myself out there and get whatever I'm working on out there. I felt like I was so used to people just knowing who I was and what I did, especially coming from Houston, and those spaces scared me, and I'm really working my way through that, if I'm being completely 100%. So that's why I don't want y'all to think that I'm literally like wagging my finger at you. I'm really just hearing the critique and what people are saying, and I'm hearing something else behind it that I just really want to like talk about and discover with people who like to talk about the same things I do. And honestly, for me going recently, I'm so proud of myself. I've never been the type of person to be like, oh, I have to be visible to be in these spaces. Things really came natural for me. So the idea of purposefully being visible is so foreign to me, but it is a part of the game. And at first I was like, ew, like that doesn't even sit right with me, but it's what it is. Like that visibility, if people don't see you, they literally will forget about you. And sometimes that's literally the only reason you need to be at CultureCon. Be seen for a quick little second, a quick little hee ha ha, and keep it pushing. Sometimes it doesn't even have to be anything beyond that. And I'm really proud of myself for going. This year I went by myself and I saw friends there. Literally, my friend was like, you're going to see people that you know there, like, girl, and you can just be with them. And I indeed did. And I really sat in and focused on the panels this year, which was so much fun to do. So I'm just wanting to like bring my story in because I just want y'all to know I'm not hating on y'all. This is just something that I really do feel that we can tweak in order to experience these events in a better way. And with that being said, the truth is that when you go into these spaces, if you want to network and if you want to meet new people, etc., it's not about how you say, what you say or how you show up. It's really about how you feel on the inside and what you exude on the outside. So if you walk in there being like, I'm not gonna meet nobody, I'm scared, I'm this, I'm that, which I be scared too, but I be having to fight those thoughts off. People can feel that energy. Networking is really all about how you feel on the inside and about creating and making genuine human connections, not the connection with the lady that works at BET or VH1 or MTV or wherever the hell, simply because you want a job there. Yes, you should get her LinkedIn, etc. But true networking is definitely very lateral. We got that from Issa Rae. She said that a lot of people say that, and it's truly connecting with people on a human level first, and then seeing where the dots connect professionally or creatively. That's where I found such a freaking sweet spot for networking, and how literally all of my personal opportunities have came to life was genuinely through actually having friends, and in real life knowing people who wanted to see me win, and vice versa. I think I've met one person. I met a couple people at an actual networking event, but it wasn't even like, hey girl, what do you do? Hey girl, what do you do? Okay, let's do it together. No, it wasn't nothing like that. Like, we were actually having a key, talking about something totally different or separate from what we actually do in our professional or creative lives, and we just found synergy in that way. And that's a great way to connect. I have a really good episode with my friend Kellen on social anxiety and being like a socialite and how to manage all of that. That's another good episode to check out. Social anxiety often comes from you thinking that everyone is watching your every move. People are focused on you. People don't think that you're cool, or whatever the case may be. You don't like your outfit, you feel like insecure on the inside, etc. So it's very important to really like dig into the why of social anxiety. That's what I've been doing. I used to have a lot of social anxiety for, dare I say it, the way that I speak. I feel like that sometimes I'll stutter, sometimes I say like a lot, sometimes I literally blank and forget what I was thinking about, and have so much to say, but so little comes out. Like, that happens to me so much. But what do? I practice. I go to Toastmasters, and true confidence is really built through those kind of actions. And what I want you guys to do is really sit down and be like, what would make me feel better about myself in these rooms? Is it a flyer fit? Because it might be. Is it you actually putting in the work for that podcast or that script that you're writing for your pilot for a show, and having something to discuss and talk about, and being fully in and walking in your light, or being on your way there? Is it being fit and actually being and feeling good within your body? I feel like when you really hone in on, okay, why am I feeling this way, and checklist it off and just get better, you will start to even feel better. And another thing that really helps me is, like, everyone is honestly not even thinking about you, because everyone's thinking about themselves. We're all thinking about ourselves in those kind of spaces, and ain't nobody worried about you. And if they are worried about you, like, they're actually lame, for real. And I don't even think people are lame. I think everyone is just beautiful and like amazing. But people like that, lame. But yeah, I really feel like just building that confidence, and confidence comes from being in motion, being in action, doing what you said you're going to do. And the years that I did not go to CultureCon, I was not doing what I said I would do. The years that I did go to CultureCon, I was walking in my light, and I was able to walk in there with confidence and either speak to people or just be quiet and sit in the panel and soak up all of the knowledge from Jennifer Hudson and 2 Chainz, literally just spilling their tea, like Cheryl Lee Ralph giving us some mama ass advice and literally yelling at us to get our shit together. Be so for real. And for me personally, if I'm not working on something, if I'm not cute, that's so shallow, but that's so for real. This might not be you. If I'm not just personally grounded, I just really don't feel like myself, which I've said this before on other episodes. So that's like a really good way to walk into these rooms. It's a bit more confident, so that you don't feel like you aren't able to network, or that there's no space for networking, and that you can literally walk in the room and be the network. Like, you can literally walk in the room and ask a random question and start the vibes. If you feel good within yourself. And honestly, one of the biggest lessons is like, it's them damn phones. Like, it's really them damn phones, because they're making us compare ourselves to people. They're making us literally low key slow and not knowing how to talk to people in our actual face. Put the phone down. I'm talking to myself. Put the phone down. And I really want to leave you guys with a couple of actual tangible things that you can do before any type of networking event, conference, festival, the next CultureCon. The first thing would be breath work. Literally on the way to anything. I even did this before I was on Rory Amal's live stream. I breathe in and breathe out. I either use my Calm app and do a quick meditation there, or I dead ass go, and then I'd be like, you got this, girl. I'd be like, girl, like, they don't even know who just is walking in this room. Like, I will talk myself all the way up and remember who the fuck I am, so that when I walk into these rooms, nothing is detouring me. I'm here to listen to these panels. I'm here to meet a new person. And that brings me to actually my next set of things to do before these types of events. Set goals. So what I do as well is I'll be like, okay, I want to meet 3 to 5 new people. And I will literally not leave the event until I meet 3 to 5 new people genuinely, or even if I'm at my second one and I'm struggling for the third, maybe I'll force the issue a little bit, but I'll try to at least get 3 to 4 IGs, contacts in some type of way. And it's kind of like a game in a sense as well. And I always have like a general question or something that I'm going to tell someone, be like, oh, your outfit's cute, or your hair is cute, or a genuine, or one of my favorite things to say is, oh, like, what's something like exciting that you've been working on? I literally have it on my phone as like an affirmation. It's like, for me to ask people, like, what are you working on? Like, what's the last exciting trip that you took? Like, people love to talk about themselves if you just start talking. Like, they really do. Just do it. And will you get rejected sometimes? Hell yeah. Some mean ass people might be like, girl, who is you? Or boy, who is you? But you don't want to be, they don't matter. And remember the whole rejection therapy thing? Like, rejection therapy, like, it's just going to make you stronger. And like I said, like, work across and not up. I see that a lot of people rush to take a picture with the celebrity, or they rush to get a video of a celebrity, which is all great and dandy, because like I said, visibility is a thing. And if you post that picture with Morris Chestnut, everyone's going to say, oh my God, you with Morris Chestnut, oh my God. And you're going to be validated, and you're going to feel good for like a couple minutes. But it still definitely is one of those like social climbing things that make sense for some people. But for me personally, I'm talking to the person who's sitting literally right next to me. I'm talking to the person who was literally in line with me. And that is one of the best ways to speak to people, is in those lines. Like, actually, one of the girls I met just started to talk to me in line. And I was like, hey girl, thank you for talking to me, because I wasn't talking to anyone. Like, it's really like that. And be curious about people, like, not the celebrities, but about people in your surroundings, and even the activations. Like, be curious about the story and the narrative behind those. Like, if you call yourself a creative, if you call yourself an artist, what is this activation about? And then lastly, afterwards, whenever you meet people, follow up with intention, DM them about, be like, girl, it was so nice meeting you. Like, I'm so happy I got to meet you. Or follow up with something specific that you guys talked about during that time. Or if you look at their page and like you see something that you guys have in common, chat about that, respond to their stories, and just follow up lightly. And just like, you have one more person in your arsenal. You have one more supporter. You have one more person that can see your work. And that is so important, especially in these beginning stages. Remember, and if you still are like, I'm too shy, like I can't do it, which that be me sometimes. Some days I'm like a social butterfly. Other days I'm literally in a corner and I physically can't speak. So yeah, I'm talking to myself too. But then I remember like confidence is not, it's something that you build. It's something that you practice. And it's so much fun to engage with other people and just be like asking people random ass questions. Like it's so much fun, but you have to practice and really just get in there. What I do want to leave you guys with when it comes to this whole topic is to just really sit with yourself and make sure that you're entering these rooms your best self so that you can get your best experience for you, and to lessen your expectations of what you think something's going to be because of social media, and just genuinely experience it for yourself. And if you want to critique, or if you have a critique, please, that is your birthright and you paid your money for that. But there's ways to say things, there's ways to go about it. And I think that it's more so about what's your intention behind it. Some people's intention just felt nasty. Some people, I was like, I feel you. I feel that way too. And yeah, so I just want to leave you guys with that. And I really do want to talk about like some things that I really loved at CultureCon. The first thing was Vic Mensa. Him on that panel was so good. I've been loving what Vic has been tapping into when it comes to just opening up more about his depression and his drug addiction and things like that. Nandi Howard from Essence asked Vic Mensa, what would they go back and tell like their teenage, what would he go back and tell his teenage self? And it was like, to stop doing drugs, nigga, like just chill on the drugs. Which I was like, that is the best answer that I've ever heard, the best non-cliche answer that I've heard in a long time. That's real as all hell. And I wish we could have stayed there a little bit and talked about that and his journey with that, because that would have resonated so much with people in the audience. I know for sure, because self-medicating is something that people are doing in so many different ways. And he was just so real for that. He also said something, they asked about like, what do you do when, you know, you reached reached a destination or you completed a project or something, and you're like, okay, yeah, I did that. Like, how do you celebrate? What do you do? And Vic also said like he's learning to really like enjoy every single day, because the destination does not feel like what you think is going to feel like. Like, you think that once you get to that spot and once you get on that CultureCon stage, you're going to have this magical moment and everything is going to be sunflowers and rainbows after that. Wrong. That's not how life works. And I think that we're chasing something that does not exist a lot of the times. And he mentioned that as well. It's like, let's find the success and the celebration in every single day. Like, let's find our flow in every single day. And I just thought that was so dope. Also found out that Chainz was a psychology major, which was so cool. Like, I can't wait. I'm going to manifest having him on the podcast. And he talks about his new book, where he talks about his mother, who he had to sell drugs to back in the day. And it was like, just, there's a story behind that. And he was really getting emotional speaking about it, and just the vulnerability of that, and just seeing the multi-dimensional, and just seeing more of Chainz. Like, I knew he was a dynamic human being, but Lauren LaRosa did that in really showing other parts of Chainz. Like, I was like, what if, what a rock star. Like, nigga, you are cool. Like, if I was going to say someone is cool, I'd be like, Chainz, you are cool to me. He owns a Crystals, I think it's fast food restaurant. He just wrote that book. And I think the book is like The Whisper is God Calling. Don't quote me. I'm going to put the book right here if I post this. And yeah, so that was really cool, just like learning more about Chainz. Those moments remind me like of why these type of events really do exist and matter, because we do need to hear from people in real life and not just online and not just in a curated environment. So that was really, really cool to hear and to see. And if you left CultureCon feeling a bit unseen, feeling a bit undervalued, feeling a bit like you're comparing yourself to other people, feeling like you didn't meet anyone or it didn't move the needle for you in your career in any way, I want you to use this as motivation to build something of your own and really look within and say, and ask yourself, like, what am I actually looking for? And go and find that in your everyday life so you can bring that energy to these spaces. I think that because it is so hard to do anything creative, it's hard to do anything, not just creative, it's just hard. Life is just hard that we go to these spaces with so much hope, looking for an answer, looking for a connection to a brand, a connection to a job, looking for that one-liner quote that literally is going to be the quote that saves our lives, when honestly and truly everything you're looking for is within yourself. I'm going to say this again, the belonging, the validation, the confidence, it's within yourself. And then you can go into these spaces not needing to be filled up in that way, but more so needing to just be rejuvenated, needing to be reminded, needing to be re-inspired. And I want you guys to really like sit with that and just think about where you are in life right now and how when you walk into certain spaces, how you can project your own insecurities and things like that on the actual space, and it's not reflective of the intention of what the space is supposed to be for. Everything that you're searching for within those rooms is inside of you. You need to walk in your light, affirm your light, know it, claim it, and just watch the world in return give you the best experiences in the world. Trust me on this. And this has been the Penny for Your Thoughts podcast. I hope that you guys understood what I was trying to say. Don't get offended at all. But if you do get offended, whatever. I'm so sorry. I really wish the best and hope the best for you guys, and hope that you got something out of this, not just for CultureCon, literally for any space that you're walking into, that's what this is really for. This just sparked an idea in my head. And I'll see you guys next week. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the podcast. Good night.